Hey, it's Dan Zimmerman. Welcome to Illustrate to Educate. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly objective videos on topics that matter. Pot, weed, ganja, Mary Jane. There are more than 1,000 slang terms in the English language to refer to marijuana, but should it be legalized for recreational or medical use? That's what I've made this video to help you decide. Did you know that more than half of US adults, over 128 million people, have tried marijuana, despite it being an illegal drug under federal law? Nearly 600,000 Americans are arrested for marijuana possession annually, more than one person per minute. Public support for legalizing marijuana went from 12% in 1969 to 66% today. Recreational marijuana, also known as adult use marijuana, was first legalized in Colorado and Washington in 2012. Cannabis, the scientific name for marijuana, is a plant that has 3 species or strains: indica, sativa, and the less common ruderalis. Marijuana contains high levels of THC, the primary psychoactive ingredient that causes people to get high. And by legalization, I'm referring to the practice of allowing the production, distribution, sale, and possession of marijuana. In addition, there are different models of legalization ranging from allowing people to grow their own marijuana to retail sales. So how would legalizing marijuana affect the economy? Those on the pro side believe that marijuana legalization would boost the economy. They say that the entire industry in the US could exceed $24 billion in revenue by 2025. It would generate economic activity for industries such as tourism, banking, food, real estate, construction, and transportation. They point to the legal marijuana industry that has already generated $7.2 billion in economic activity in 2016 and has added millions of dollars in federal taxes. Those, on the contrary, believe that legalized marijuana creates heavy costs for society and taxpayers that far outweighs its tax revenues. Costs such as emergency room visits, medical care for the uninsured, DUI accidents, crime, and the impact of secondhand smoke. They point to the annual $417 billion alcohol and tobacco cost society today. Next, how will legalizing marijuana affect teen usage? Those for legalizing marijuana believe that it will decrease teen use. Researchers at the Washington University School of Medicine found that the rates of marijuana use by young people are falling, despite the fact that more US states are legalizing marijuana. They point to the studies that show Colorado teens between 12 and 17 years old reported a near 12% drop in just 2 years after it was legalized. Those against legalizing marijuana say that it will actually increase use by teens with harmful results. When comparing state by state, they find a higher percentage of teen users in states that have legalized marijuana. They say marijuana is especially dangerous for young people because the human brain is not fully developed until around age 25. Research shows marijuana can cause impaired short-term memory, decreased concentration, longer reaction time, and decreased coordination. How will legalizing marijuana influence traffic accidents and DUIs? Those who support legalizing marijuana say that studies show a decrease in traffic deaths and arrests for driving under the influence in states such as Washington and Colorado. They point to studies that show that drivers under the influence of marijuana tend to be more cautious and take fewer risks than drunk drivers, such as changing lanes and reducing speed. On the other side, opponents say that by legalizing marijuana, you are putting more impaired drivers on the road and causing marijuana-related traffic deaths to rise. They say that the THC levels seen by officers are causing worse impairments than ever before. The AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety has reported that fatal crashes involving marijuana doubled after legalization in Washington and Colorado. Lastly, let's look at how legalizing marijuana might affect the black markets. Proponents of legalizing marijuana say that the black markets are phasing out and that money is being removed from drug cartels, organized crime, and street gangs. Their data from the U.S. Border Patrol shows that marijuana seizures have decreased by millions of pounds. They believe that in 2020, 90% of the marijuana market in Colorado will be supplied by licensed and tax vendors. The other side argues just the opposite. They say that the black market and organized crime actually benefits from marijuana legalization by undercutting legal and state licensed sellers. According to the Colorado Attorney General's office, the legalization of marijuana has inadvertently helped fuel the drug cartels by trading drugs like heroin for marijuana, and that the cartels are growing marijuana under the cover of legal operations in Colorado to fuel the black markets in other states. From a medical standpoint, the legalization of marijuana looks a bit different. In 1970, the U.S. Congress placed marijuana in Schedule I, which is the most restrictive category of drugs. It is considered to have no acceptable medical use and a high potential for abuse. However, 33 of 50 U.S. states and D.C. have legalized the medical use of marijuana. Proponents of medical marijuana argue that it can be safe and effective treatment for the symptoms of cancer, AIDS, multiple sclerosis, pain, glaucoma, epilepsy, and other conditions. They cite dozens of peer-reviewed studies, prominent medical organizations, major government reports, and the use of marijuana as medicine throughout world history. Opponents of medical marijuana argue that it is too dangerous to use, lacks FDA approval, and that various legal drugs make marijuana use unnecessary. They say marijuana is addictive, leads to harder drug use, impairs driving ability, interferes with fertility, and injures the lungs, immune system, and brain. They say that medical marijuana is a front for drug legalization and recreational use. Hopefully this gave you a quick look at the two sides of this debate. There's a lot of studies and research supporting each side, which can make this a difficult topic to agree on. Go ahead and leave your comments below and feel free to state your opinion about what you think the government should do concerning the legalization of marijuana. Did you enjoy this video? Remember to like and comment on your thoughts about legalizing marijuana. Also hit the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. And don't forget to check out some of my other videos to the right.